Bonjour and welcome to a full day of eating on my quest to bench 200 kg. Now you might be eagerly anticipating what meal number one is. Can't you guess? It was always going to be a white monster. Honestly, I have like 3 a day, but the third one in a day is as good as the first one I've ever had. So I picked up a few bits from the co-op. And just before I went, I was like, in my head, right, I'm filming today, so how do I film the most pristine full day of eating? And then I was like, well, that's not how I eat when the camera's not on me, so why the fuck am I going to eat that way when the camera's on me? So I did pick up a couple of snacks. Now, most of it's good. We got raspberries, blueberries, eggs, milk, butter, 15% fat mince. You would not believe the difference. It's almost double the calories in comparison to 5% fat. We have chicken thighs because they're a little bit higher in calorie than chicken breast, 2 protein snacks, 3 bananas, and this is where it gets fun. Pack of 3 white magnums. We got a grenade Oreo bar, and we got a extra large double white Twix. Well, Twix is always double. So these are the things that like bump up my calorie intake right now because I'm aiming to hit in and around maintenance. So I do go to the shop, I do get an ice cream, I do get a protein bar, and I do get a Twix more often than not. So there you go. So meal number one, 120 grams of porridge oat, 400 plus milliliters of low-fat milk. In goes a scoop of protein from a protein company I'm no longer affiliated with. We are also putting in a full pack of strawberries, full pack of blueberries, and a full pack of raspberries. That is scandalous. It's basically just a pot of fruit at this point. I didn't realize how many, okay, a full pack of blueberries is probably a bit much. But we're not done, because I want to put in some honey, 10 grams on the money. Okay, maybe 12. And some peanut butter. Fuck me, 22 grams. So you might be wondering, Sean, why the fuck did you put so many calories in your breakfast? That's surely like half of your calories gone to just porridge. And the answer is very simple. I'm beginning a lean gaining phase, right? I'm not gonna bench 200 kg being in a deficit for the next 6 months. I don't feel as though I pushed the deficit to the degree that I felt I was capable of, but I'm still happy with the amount of body fat that I have now, and it's gonna be a good base to spend the next couple of months lean gaining. So a well-executed lean gaining phase has 3 phases. Number 1 is the cut to lose the body fat. Number 2 is the phase after the cut, so maintenance. And number 3 is when you push things into a territory where you're slowly but surely gaining body weight. I am currently in a maintenance phase, so I'm looking to maintain my body weight for the next at least 3 to 4 weeks. And the reason for this is to steady the ship. So it's to transition from a cutting phase, but not just blow the lid off your fucking diet straight away like most people do. And like I did last year, where I gained in excess of 10 kilos 4 weeks after finishing my dieting phase. I don't want to do that this time. I want to hold my body weight for the next few weeks less than 100 kilos. And only as we're progressing towards Christmas and ultimately progressing towards the 200 kg bench press do I want to be in a position where my weight is creeping up above 100 kg. So right now I'm aiming for in and around 3,200 calories per day, which will be enough combined with a decent step count to maintain my body weight and body fat right where it's at. So meal number 3, as I get stuck into some work up in the loft or lobby of my hotel complex, is of course another monster. Cheers. I really don't want to do this, but I don't know what other way I'm going to split up my calories if I don't do this. But I'm going to have meal number 2 before the gym, and within a 30-minute period, I'm going to eat eggs, bacon medallions, and bagels. I'm going to scull 300 plus milligrams of caffeine, and then I'm going to go to the gym to hit up a bench session. The only problem is that I'm also going to have to allocate time to shit myself. Egg, 3 of them. 2 bacon medallions. 2 bagels. Meal number 2 is a classic. 2 bagels, 3 eggs, 2 bacon medallions, a little bit of barbecue sauce. It never gets old. Never gets old. I could eat this every day for the rest of my life and still look forward to it. Pre-workout going down. Let's get this session done.
Right, welcome ladies and gents. We're in for a treat today. That treat is going to be me working up to a heavy set of bench press. So it feels like ages since I've worked up to a weight that I can barely manage and just max the fuck out. Today it's supposed to be working up to a max of 150 kilos for 5 reps, which is supposed to be an RPE 8, so 8 out of 10 difficulty. But let's see how it goes. Set number 1 is going to be 120 for 5. And from here, we're going to do 5 sets in total, but we're going to be building towards 150 kg. Easy peasy. Set 2, 130. We're breaking out the elbow sleeves for this one. Now, some of you will say that using elbow sleeves is cheating, and to that, I tell you, go fuck yourself. Elbow wraps, you have a point. Elbow wraps are objectively OP. They're going to add like 10% to your bench press. Elbow sleeves, I mean, they still help objectively. Why would I wear them if I didn't perceive some physical or mental benefit from wearing them? But they don't help to the same degree as elbow wraps do. Less talking, because my forearms are about to go purple. Let's see what 150 times 5 is saying. Sorry, the song just decided to stop playing and I haven't uncovered the reason why yet. Crisis averted. I thought I was going to have to bench without music there for a second. In that case, I'd rather just go home. I tend to have a habit of catastrophizing the difficulty of sets that I do. I go, oh, there was a bit of struggle there, so it must have been a 9 or a 10. But realistically, if I had a spotter behind me, I definitely would have gone for one more. It's debatable as to whether I would have had 2 more in the tank. But I'm gonna be lenient on myself for a change and say that was a legitimate 8 out of 10 difficulty. Right, so next set we drop down to 130, and then we're gonna leave it at that. So for no justifiable reason, I've changed the bench that I'm using, even though I'm moving from regular grip bench press to close grip bench press. I guess it does serve a purpose in a way. Even if the reason that I changed is because I stripped off my bench press and I hadn't checked my program to see what other exercises were on it. And then I saw the close grip bench press was on it. So then I was too awkward to reload the setup that I just unloaded. So I just moved to another bench entirely. Nonetheless, we have 100 kilos on the bar and we're gonna go for sets of 8 reps. I'll probably bump it up to 110 for set number 2. Yeah, I was lucky that didn't come out of my hands. Set number 2, 110 kilos, 8 reps. This could be a terrible call, but my ego is saying 50 kilo shoulder press after 2 very push muscle dominant exercises. So we'll see if we're going to be able to do it. I feel as though the dumbbells in Federation, because they're like cool metal, are also heavier. Make it make sense, but it's like density, you know? Anyway, I'm going to get myself psyched up for this. I've no idea whether I do 2 reps or 10, but only one way to find out. I've never, to be fair, actually done shoulder press with elbow sleeves before, so I'm interested to see if it adds an extra percent. Surely. I feel like shoulder press, one of those exercises that could go either way. It always feels the heaviest when it's on your knees and you're thinking, how the fuck am I going to get these 50 kilo dumbbells up to my shoulders? Then once you get into a rhythm of it, it moves pretty well. But that was 8 reps, and considering my shoulders, triceps, push muscles are fairly fatigued, that would indicate that if I did that fresh, I'd be easily exceeding 10 reps. Set number 2. So the elbow sleeves have ceased to serve a purpose. The only reason I keep them on is that when you do a lateral raise, with really tight elbow sleeves, it looks pretty badass in the mirror. That's just giving away the plot of this segment of this video. We have moved on to dumbbell ladder raise, roughly about 15 reps.
Oh dear.
So moving on to the pull component of this session, in the absence of a weighted belt, which I'd prefer to use for chin-ups, of the weighted chin-ups, I'm going to stick a 17.5 dumbbell between the legs. With a pull-up or a chin-up, there can be a huge temptation to cut off range of motion. And usually for most people, that will come in the form of not pulling your chest or your chin all the way up to the bar. And secondly, that's going to come in the form of cutting off range of motion at the bottom. So if most of your repetitions are full elbow lockout at the bottom, and then all of a sudden you're really trying to get an extra repetition, and in doing so, you don't achieve full elbow lockout at the bottom, if instead you stop the rep when your elbow is still flexed or bent or in this position, so you're cutting off range of motion at the bottom, just because you managed to get an all-time PB or you managed to do more reps than last time, it doesn't mean that you've actually progressed or you've actually added a stimulus to the muscles in setting that PB that's going to yield more muscle growth. Essentially what you've done is allow your ego to take over the movement and chased an arbitrary number as opposed to maintaining a consistent, repeatable standard of execution of the movement and allowing a longer time frame to go by before you actually deserve that progression. When it comes to good technique versus bad technique, technique doesn't need to be perfect or doesn't need to align with someone's arbitrary standards of what a perfect execution is, but it does need to be consistent, it needs to be repeatable, because it's no good in you setting a brand new rep PB of, let's say, 5 repetitions if you adjusted your technique just for the sake of getting an extra rep. So someone asked me, why don't I do free weights for back? I have nothing against free weights for back, but objectively, when I'm in a gym as good as Federation with the selection of equipment that they have, I'm just not going to waste my time doing a bent over barbell row. That and the fact that I've got heavy deadlifts, as I say every video, that really just fuck the shit out of my lower back. So, you know, I'm just a little bit more selective with the exercises that I do for back. And secondly, I don't really enjoy training back. I think it's my least favorite muscle group to train. So having like fucking really quirky equipment like this just makes back training a little bit more interesting for me. But I'll go through phases where I load up 100 kilos on a pendlay row and I'll horse the shit out of it, but I'm just not in that phase right now. Until the new shiny object, and by that I mean a new shiny gym machine, catches my eye, this is by far my favorite back exercise. Let's see how long that lasts. I'll give it about 2 weeks. What an exemplary attachment. So you can loop your hands in and then you can anchor it with the back of your wrist so that when you're doing face pulls, or if you're doing tricep push down, your fucking baby finger doesn't get mushed. So 2 exercises you could probably include if you really wanted to bring them up in every upper body workout: a lateral raise and a weird out. It's going to be very hard for you to reach a threshold where, you know, you need a few days to recover from it.
Back from the gym. 2 snacks I'm gonna have: grenade Oreo bar and a protein yogurt. I was hoping to have a little bit more calories available because I like having a Twix and an ice cream in the evening, but looks as though I'm just not gonna have the calories, because once this is down the hatch, we have 745 calories remaining. I might still get an ice cream in there, we'll see. So for dinner, we have 2 chicken thighs. We have some tender stem broccoli, and what we're also going to have is a pack of Mexico microwave rice. How is there this much steam cooking some broccoli? Your fella can't even cook broccoli. Gway, would you? You wouldn't even cook a stem of broccoli. Big tick cunt you. To round off today's video, first thing, oh, I forgot to input the barbecue sauce. Let's go 10 grams. Right, so I finished this day of eating 41 humble calories above my original calorie target, taking my total for today to 207 grams of protein, 359 grams of carbs, 41 grams of fiber, so I cleared my fiber for the day. I'd hope so, having eaten 3 punnets of berries. Sugar, surprisingly below, and fat, I'm a good bit above. Surprisingly, saturated fat is not massive, so that's a good sign. It shows that today's full day of eating was quite healthy. And total calories, 3,241. But I want to round off today's video by properly thawing out a concept that I had started thinking about and trying to talk to the camera about in the gym. Nowadays, with the rise of social media, success porn has really distorted people's view and people's idea of whether or not they are living a satisfactory life. We seem to inherit other people's idea of success more than we should. And I see this playing out personally in my own life, but I see it playing out in the lives of plenty of people who might come to me for advice. You could very well be comparing yourself to people who are fundamentally fucked up in the head online, to the point that because they were so messed up, or because they had such a traumatic upbringing, or because they had these experiences in their life that gave them almost a never-ending supply of fuel to go and achieve the amazing things that they did. You're comparing your relatively okay life to people who had lives that gave them no choice but to go and achieve the success that they have. And the thought came to me when I was listening to Dorian Yates' YouTube video. He was talking about how he feels if he had a stable family, mother and father who validated him, if he had a career progression or a stepping stone for his life, or a blueprint that he could follow, that the Dorian Yates who we know would not have existed. A lot of us put pressure on ourselves to emulate people who are just completely different to us. They're wired completely differently. Not better, not worse. They're just wired completely differently. And so we end up doing things and chasing this feeling, or chasing this status, or chasing this thing that was never our goal to begin with. Relating this back to me and the humble beginnings of setting up this page and first creating this YouTube channel, or this Instagram, or this TikTok, the goal for me was nothing more than to work for myself. And that was it. That was it. If I could make a career out of posting videos online so that I could coach people and make a living that way, oh my God, that was the dream. When you spend all day scrolling on social media, you start to think, oh, I need to scale to this point, or I need to make $100 million this year, and you just start to lose the fucking run of yourself, and you very rarely take the time to just sit back and go, what was my ambition to begin with? I think everyone should strive to better their circumstance. We should all strive to improve year after year, but the pressure that some people put themselves under is, I fear, going to result in a lot of people waking up one morning going, who the fuck am I? What am I chasing? What am I doing? And why did I sacrifice the things and the people in my life to chase this thing that I don't even know was mine to begin with? So that's it. I'm gonna tuck in because my chicken's gone cold. We shall see you in the next video, I guess. Chicken thighs aren't great. Maybe it's just the chef.